That's a pretty good warm-up. It is my pleasure to introduce our moderator for tonight, Chris Hardwick, who's the host of AMC's Talking Dead. Talking Dead is the live after show where Hardwick spends time with fans, actors, producers, and TV enthusiasts recapping the most recent episode. Chris Hardwick.
Thanks, man. I don't need this, right? I'm just mic'd here, right? Here I am. All right. Hey, guys, thank you so much for coming out. This is huge. This is like the biggest event that's been held here in a really long, long time. So thank you guys for making that happen. They actually had to accommodate people in another section to live stream this. So thank you so much for coming out tonight. Are you guys excited? Are you freaking out? Oh, my God. I mean, you see, one of the most, I was a fan of the comic books before they said, we want to do this after show, and I was a fan of the first season of Walking Dead, and it really is, I mean, I can say this even though it seems like I'm biased, but it really is one of the most amazing shows on television, and I feel like the reason that we're able to have a Talking Dead is because the show is so good and so dense with drama and so much messed up stuff that you're shaking afterwards. Like, we are therapy afterwards to kind of help you guys, because you just can't go to bed right after that. Like, you need a drink or something. So we are that for you. We are a drink for your brain. And it's been a huge honor to get to know these folks and sort of, kind of be on the outer edge of the circle and go down and visit the set. And everyone's as cool as you would want them to be and super nice. And we're all just sort of free. I haven't seen the second half of the season yet. So has everyone's seen up to this point, right? Pretty much? If you've not seen up to this point, you should leave, because we're going to talk about stuff, you guys. There's going to be some spoilers up to this point. So I'm super excited, ready to get in this. We're going to be live streaming this as well. I have some questions from the social media audience, and we're going to get into it. So I'm going to introduce everyone in order. So I'm going to start our first guest, ladies and gentlemen, as Glenn, Steve Yeun. Nice to see you. As Maggie, Lauren Cohan. Hello. Nice to see you.
You too.
We were there next to your boyfriend.
Okay, fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Daryl Norman Reedus. Put you right there. As Michonne Danai Gurira. Nice to see you. All right. Well, guys, Rick Grimes, Andrew Lincoln.
I know.
Sure. And of course, the new character this season that everyone was super excited about seeing coming onto the show is the Governor, David Morrissey. Got you right here. Hi, nice to see you. Next coming up is Andrea Laurie Holden. Co-EP and special effects ninja Greg Nicotero. Mr. Nicotero. Executive producer Gail Ann Hurd. And of course, the guy whose brain thought of The Walking Dead. Please welcome Mr. Robert Kirkman. Just sort of awkwardly in between Rick and the Governor. To keep you guys separate. This is so exciting. I have only watched up to the half-season finale. I don't know what's coming up yet. There's a lot of speculation. The show's coming back Sunday. A lot of things have not been resolved that I really need resolved in my life. Robert Kirkman, how are you? Where is your brain right now? Are you prepared for what you're about to drop on people on Sunday?
Yeah, it's really odd. I was telling people in the press line that I'm really excited for these episodes to air because there's always stuff in the episodes that I can't talk about. So every time an episode airs, there's more things that people are aware of. It's really difficult for me to do stuff like this because we're already working on season 4, the way the timing works, and so I've got a lot of that stuff in my head. So I'm hoping I don't let anything slip while I'm here.
Yeah.
But I know there's a lot of really awesome stuff coming up, and a little bit of resolution for some of the things that are hanging out there. So
I find you to be pretty bulletproof when it comes to spoil. You don't let anything go. Sometimes if we're just hanging out, I'll just casually go, so how does it end? And I can never trick you into telling me anything.
You should ask better questions. How does it end is a pretty easy one to dodge.
Yeah, but see, I'm hoping if I can get you to spill one thing, it's like, crap, I might as well just tell you everything now. How do you have these two universes in your head. You have the comic book universe and you have the television universe. How do you keep track of what's what, and how do you know, oh, this hasn't aired yet, I can't talk about this yet?
Yeah, I don't really know. The comic book stuff is so much different, It's so much more advanced. The characters are in a much different place. So when I think about what's in the comic book and what's in the show, it doesn't really translate. So It's not really the show I view as like an alternate past.
Right.
So that stuff is easy to keep separate. But as far as keeping track of where I'm at when I'm doing interviews and stuff, it's it's a little tricky. I do a lot of research.
Gail, so you've been on the show since the beginning, and so how have you watched the show evolve? What have you seen now that you've had a chance to step back and in retrospect look at the last three seasons? What is it that you've seen happen?
Well, I love the fact that every episode that I watch, coming from a feature background, is like a mini movie, and what impresses me is not only the scope that our directors, including the fantastic Greg Nicotero, who's directed 3 this season.
Yes.
But the reason people watch the show, in addition to the fantastic writing, is because of the cast. Because they make it dead real. This is a world where you're invested in the characters, and we are just blessed to work with such a fantastic group of people, and that's what really gets me, is seeing the evolution of each member of our cast of characters.
Yeah, it's funny because people ask me in interviews stuff like, "What do you think it is about The Walking Dead that makes so many people watch?" I go, "Because it's good." What a ridiculous question! It's the perfect synthesis of the story's great, the acting's great, the special effects are amazing, and the show just looks gorgeous. Greg, how do you sort of up the game each season when you kind of take a step back and go, okay, here are the practical effects and the CG stuff that we did last season. What can we do this season to up the game?
Well, coming from a fan perspective, because I love zombie stuff. My first gig was George Romero. I mean, it's I put stuff out there that I want to see. The advantage of being a producer on the show is it kind of gives me free rein to come up with some really cool stuff. Last season, the writers all came to K&B, had a little field trip, and when they left the shop, I got a call from one of them, and they said, "Oh, we have this great idea of this big, giant, bloated walker that comes out of the well." So it's sort of that came from an idea that they had just walking through K&B and seeing the thousands of body parts and severed heads and things that we have laying around, some real, some
It's
fake.
a pretty scary place.
It's pretty amazing, and at any given day you can go there and just see a guy beating the crap out of a zombie head with a pipe, and then everyone laughing as blood flies everywhere.
And then you go into the shop. That's
is that well done?
Really, I don't. But, I mean, the thing that I find fascinating about the fans of the show, and I know everybody on this panel will say the same thing. You get stopped in the street and people say, "I love the show," and they say, I told my friend to start with season 1, episode 1, and they're addicted. It's like they can't stop. You start with that episode, you go, and then all of a sudden the first 6 episodes are over. And they're like, "Wait, there's only 6? I want to see more." And then they plow through it. So if you see people with circles under their eyes holding Walking Dead DVDs, they watch the entire 2.5 seasons in one sitting. And it's pretty astounding that the show and this cast and our great crew really is able to do something where people just they attach.
I'm actually surprised at some of the stuff you guys are able to get away with, where it's like, oh my God, Rick just cut that guy's face in half, and this is this is television, but it looks, and I think it's a testament to how good the effects are. That on television, where people are watching up close, you guys will do close-up shots of effects, as opposed to like, well, let's just keep that off in the distance. Like you guys, it's up close and it looks fantastic.
Well, you have to give a lot of